My name is Anthony Del Vescovo, and I'd like to tell you about my experience with the NUin program. The summer before my senior year, I was incredibly busy with summer rowing, SAT prep, a service trip, and of course the college visits. When I went on my New England tour, I visited Northeastern, and I was struck by the campus and the co-op program. I filled out my application in Northeastern, and when I got my admittance decision, I was accepted into the NUin program, and I was excited to get into Northeastern. After discussing with my parents, I decided to spend my first semester in Montreal at McGill University. I grew up in a town called Valley Forge, which is in the suburbs of Philadelphia, and I attended Catholic school for all my life. I went to an all-boys prep school for middle school and high school, and I had never lived in the city before. And I said my goodbyes to all my friends and my family, and I left for Montreal on August 27th. I started my journey with Frosh, where I met many new friends who all study at McGill. Frosh is McGill's orientation, and I participated in the management Frosh. In these 4 days, we explored Montreal, and we saw many different artists perform, and we even went to a beach club. It was a great experience, and I met so many new people. One of my favorite parts of studying at McGill was the music culture of Montreal. I saw great artists in Montreal. The list is extensive. In my first week in Montreal, I saw Kanye West as he was on his St. Pablo tour. Kanye's experience was fantastic. His music was great. In addition to Kanye, I saw Steve Aoki with some friends at New City Gas. He gave a great performance, and his music was awesome. Then I saw Future, who also performed at New City Gas. But out of all these artists who I mentioned, none could top the Hollow Weekend concert at New City Gas. I saw Adventure Club, and I barely knew any of their music beforehand, or did I know anything about them. They are from Montreal, and they put on one of the best concerts that I've ever seen. Their music was incredible, and I was so amped during that concert. It was probably the best concert of my life so far. I took advantage of this music culture, and I love this part of Montreal. One of my favorite adventures of the semester in Canada was Quebec City. I went to Quebec City with the NUin program. I had visited Quebec multiple times as a small child, but I forgot most of my experiences there. We went to Musée du Fort and learned about the history of Quebec City. In addition to that, I also explored Quebec City with my roommate and a few friends. We visited the Parliament of Quebec, but we couldn't go in because it was Sunday. Then I went to go check out Old Town, and the place was beautiful. All these great clothing shops and bakeries were all open, and I had some of the best poutine while I was there. Quebec was a beautiful city, and I hope that I can go back there one day. Another highlight of my trip was Hype Week. Hype Week is a charitable event held in Montreal. There were 20 teams of students across the Montreal area. We all competed in events, and it was 5 days long. It was a great experience. All the profits of Hype Week go to cancer research, so the games and parties were all for a good cause. One of my favorite parts of Hype Week was meeting the people on my team. I met so many new people outside my NUin group and made some great friendships with upperclassmen at McGill and Concordia. Everyone was so nice and fun, and it was great to meet all these new people. I hope to keep these relationships for the rest of my time in Montreal, and I'm upset that I have to leave my friends in December. Like all good things, this must come to an end. I loved my experience in Montreal. McGill was a phenomenal school and a great experience. However, it's time for me to take the transition back to Northeastern and prepare myself for Boston, but I am thankful for the NUin program and the experience that they gave me.